Hey team, welcome to week 2 of OS 330 on talent management. So today is the first census day. So hopefully everybody has gotten something in a discussion board post or an assignment. Remember that introductions do not count for census day. I've posted enough in the announcements, and so hopefully everybody has gotten their hand on that. Right now it's Friday, so we still have a couple of days until Census Day and until you see this. So what's going on? Okay, so I reduced the writing for the discussion boards because we do a lot of writing in this class, and I don't want to do any unnecessary stuff. So anyways, like we said in one of the announcements, everybody's required to do one initial post for the discussion board and reply to one student in that discussion post thread. So that means, I think that's pretty self-explanatory. So you do an initial post, reply to one of your classmates. That way we keep the discussion going, and I think that's good stuff. This week, we are doing chapters 3 and 4. There's 2 case studies, 2 discussion boards, and in chapter 3 and 4, we are looking at the overall strategy of performance management. And we are also going to start thinking and planning on our final project. So our final project is a paper, and we are going to do a total evaluation on a performance management system. It can be, and I prefer it to be, where you work. But that's not always the case and not always available to some people. And the reason why I prefer it to be that way is because you have a vested interest, right? But you can pick one of the case studies in the book and do that. Now, as you've seen probably already, a lot of the case studies in the book, they don't give you a great deal of information. So you may not be comfortable doing that. And if that's the case, just let me know. So anyways, this week, we will, think about that and let me know what you're going to do for your final project. And of course, it would behoove of you to probably start rolling on it, That's how I am. I do take little bites off at a time. So some of the discussion I've seen so far, I really like. And one of the big things I wanted to talk about is a mid-performance evaluation cycle, because we had some good comments on feedback. And a lot of times, and I'm sure you have experienced this, there is no mid-performance. You get your annual evaluation, and you get feedback at that time. So what good is the feedback at that time? Because you can't adjust, as the Navy would say, Navy, right? You can't adjust your rudder to a new path at that moment so you can get that performance bonus or that raise depending on that evaluation cycle. So imagine here you are thinking you're doing a great job and you go sit down at your performance evaluation and the feedback you get is, well, if you did this at work, we would have recommended you for a raise. Well, thank you. That does me no good, right? So is there a mid-performance cycle, like 6 months into it, where you get to sit down with your supervisor and adjust how are you meeting your objectives? And, it's so important because I don't know how, being military, we transfer all the time. So it's a lot of times here I am going to sit down with my evaluation, and because the military transfers so much, the person that's doing my evaluation has only known me for about a month or 2 months, and I'm sitting here going, wow, you don't even know what I've done the last year. And it's tough, So anywho, these are things to think about when you're evaluating the effectiveness of a performance management system. Does it measure the right thing? We looked at that this week, some of the verbs that are used. How do you measure leadership? How do you measure communications? Can I communicate? Am I using all the means available to me to communicate? Are my personal visions aligned with organizational visions? You know, these are things to think about when you're looking at this performance evaluation. How do I motivate my employees? Do I feel motivated, to support the business initiative? It's tough. It really is. Because a lot of times when we see performance evaluations, they're very vague, and they might say things like, can communicate effectively. Okay, what does that mean? Because everybody can communicate effectively, right? Because it's me communicating and you listening. So we have different skills. If you're not listening and I'm communicating the best to my ability, am I communicating effectively? No, but somebody else might be able to get through. So, these are things that you really got to think about, and it's difficult. So, okay, so something else this week, I am on travel, right? I'm going to be in San Antonio, Texas, doing some evaluations of curriculum for the U.S. Army, one of my part-time gigs, right? And this is for the American Council on Education. However, I will be in Blackboard every night, just like I am here. Great thing about teaching online, right? So every night I'll be on Blackboard, and I'm still available. I think, I know some people have texted me and emailed me this week, and I so appreciate it. And I'll keep that up. And I so appreciate everybody having a second set of eyes on this new Blackboard upgrade. Because, man, we've caught some things already, and I can't catch everything because I'm an old man. Okay, so thanks. Once again, if you have any questions, please contact me. And, yeah, we'll move on from there. Thanks. Dave out.